Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're all right. Now in this lesson we're going to compare a couple of quality assurance methods that are introduced by businesses to make sure that every product that goes out of its factory is meeting the customer expectations as well as the minimum requirements that the company has set itself for quality. And the first of those is called quality control. We're going to talk about this method through an example. An example that we can see here is of a furniture maker that is trying to make a shelf just like this. And we know that in order to make this shelf, let's divide it into three simple processes. First, you got to cut up the wood. Then it goes to the second worker who puts it all together. Then it goes to the third worker who does the finishing touches of putting the handles, the drawers in, probably polishing it. And in the end, your final product is ready to make. Now, the quality control method, which is linked with flow production, is a method where the workers continue to make the product as according to the target that have been given to them. And once all of these have been made, so let's say they were to make 200 shelves. Once all the 200 have been made, then some of those 200 will be checked. A sample would be taken, so let's say 10%, so 20 of those would be taken to check for quality, and the assumption would be that if those 20 are flawless, then the other 100, which means the entire 200 batch of those shelves, should also be free of any defects. So what is quality control? This is where the products continue to be made, and once all the finished products have been made, a sample of those is taken and a quality check process is then performed to make sure that the quality standards have been met. So what do we know about it so far? No matter if you're making 10 units or 10,000, quality check will only take place at the end. Okay. Now, what is that process or who is conducting it? First of all, this quality check is not the responsibility of these workers. They've been given the target of simply making the product. The quality check process is conducted by specialists. So another team of quality specialists will be hired, trained specifically to look for any defects or faults in the product. Of course, these workers will need specialist equipment, specialist training, so that will add to the cost of employing quality control. And it is done through random sampling. So any method that you use to take just a smaller sample, that's what will be used for quality control. Now, immediately by looking at this process, the first advantage of this method of quality control should become obvious to us, and which is that you don't have to check every product. It will save you time. You will have to hire fewer specialists, and you can continue to work on making the product. And in the end, just say take a smaller sample of it and make sure if that sample is fine, all the other ones are also fine. Now, you're doing that with the assumption that nothing would have changed in the production process. All your workers would have done everything exactly the same way, and every product actually is identical. But we know there's always room for error. There's always room for mistake. And whatever its advantages, it will actually turn into a disadvantage because not every product gets checked. And if not every product is getting checked, then maybe one or two might go out of the factory, which may not meet the quality standards. And if it's a food item, well, you can have a lawsuit on your hands. So what is its advantage is also its disadvantage. However, if you look at the advantages, we also know that the workers who are just working on making the product are not tasked with checking quality. Who is tasked with checking for quality? Experts. And since they are experts, they will be able to find out exactly the right mistake, exactly the fault that needs to be picked out. So workers can do their own thing, and these experts can continue to do their own quality checks. Lastly, all these quality check methods are then contributed into a single sheet where if there's any problem that is occurring over and over again, if it's becoming too frequent, then you can go back to the production process, redefine it, and make sure that that problem doesn't occur again. However, since you are now asking quality experts, another set of people to look at the products, and if they're faulty, pick out mistakes, in a way that's saying to the workers, look, you're not doing your job right. And that's criticism that the workers might not take so kindly. They might say that, look, if the quality guys know how to do it better, why don't they do it? So this criticism might bring in some demotivation for the workers who are working day and night to make the product as the company has asked them to. And since the workers know that quality is not their responsibility, they might give up that responsibility altogether. and say that, look, we'll continue making, we're getting paid according to a unit if a piece rate system is introduced, which usually is the case in operational factories. And the quality can be checked by the other experts, and they can find out what's wrong with it, what's right with it. And if it comes back to us to correct it, it will mean more money for us. So workers may just give up on taking the quality matter seriously. So quality control, and by the way, this is one of the more traditional methods, and now these methods have been improved, and we're going to look at the other one, which is called quality assurance, which takes these problems of quality control and solves them through the quality assurance process. Now, I do believe that the method of quality assurance was born out of the biggest problem that we saw in quality control, which was that not every product was getting checked. And another reason is that you can't fix the problem. You'll only have to rework it, because you only check it once the entire product has been finished in its finished form. If the mistake was occurring at an earlier stage, we couldn't fix it here. We couldn't fix it here. We couldn't fix it here. The entire unit would have been made, and then it would have to be fixed. So what do? Well, instead of checking for quality in the end, why don't we check for quality at each stage of production? So if this worker's cutting up the wood, we make it the right shape. Before sending it off to the next worker for assembly, this worker will be given the responsibility to make sure that whatever you've done, check for the quality, check for the size, check for the directions, check for nails, whatever your job was, make sure you've done it right. And once you are satisfied, once you have given your quality approval, only then the product will move on to the next worker. Then the next worker will be doing the exact same thing. He will make sure that his part is done correctly, all the quality standards have been met. So this worker will also perform a quality check here. The same way, the product will move to the next stage. Once again, this worker finishes it, checks for quality right there and then. And in the end then, if you are going to check your product at every stage of production for quality, there is no need to check at the end. This is where you will be with the knowledge and with the confidence that the product that you made is a quality product, because everybody has put in their 2 cents and made sure that we make a quality product. So what is quality assurance? This is where quality is checked at every stage of production, from receiving the raw materials to delivering the finished goods, so that we can guarantee to the consumers that it is a quality product. So we can clearly see here that quality assurance is the solution to quality control. And with quality assurance, what you're additionally doing is that you're giving the workers more responsibility. And we've seen in our discussion on HR that more worker participation, more empowerment will lead to more motivated workforce. So the workers feel more involved. And since every worker checks for defect at every stage of production, let's say the first stage was where the mistake was occurring, and if the worker can identify it there and fix it there, then you lower your cost, because the defective products will not make it to the finished stage. They will be fixed where the mistake occurs. And since it's the workers who are making the products who are in the best position to look for quality, giving them the responsibility is probably the smart way to do this. They can spot the errors when they are being made, instead of for the specialists that we saw in quality control would simply be waiting for a defective product, and all they're doing is pointing it out. However, disadvantages for quality assurance include that since the workers who were under quality control simply tasked with making, and under quality assurance they have now been given the additional task of checking for quality, it will add to the burden of work that is given on those workers, and that usually results in lower output. It can become more time consuming. I mean, if a worker has to first make the product, then check for quality, then give it ahead instead of just making the product, it will take twice the amount of time. That's what simple logic tells us. And lastly, these workers who first were only familiar with how to make the product will now also have to be trained and equipped for checking for quality. That's a completely different skill that needs to be taught. So that cost of training and equipment should also be included in the quality assurance method. However, we can rest easy with the guarantee that every product that goes into the hands of the consumer is meeting the minimum quality standards that have been set by the business.